The new moon in Gemini on June 17th and 18th of 2023 will occur at 11:38 p.m. Central Time and 12:38 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, this new moon is going to be occurring on June 17th or 18th, depending upon where you live in the world. It's going to be happening at 26 degrees and 44 minutes of Gemini. So, Gemini is an air sign. It deals with thinking, communicating. It is about really embracing all that there is in life and being open to the bounty of information that is available to us, because Gemini is all about learning new information. It's a childlike innocence that wants to go over here and then go over there and learn new things. So it's very playful, it's very spontaneous. And it wants intellectual freedom. And so, really setting intentions about, learning, and how we're learning. How are we speaking to one another? How are we in our social lives? How are we in our relationships? Are we speaking about what it is that we feel and think in our mind and heart? And are we being true to ourselves and our beliefs? How are we making the individual, pieces of information, tying them together, and really what's true for us? It's really about being receptive to that new information. Um, it's a time to listen to others' perspectives on things, being open to different conversations and just genuinely, without bias, without having certain opinions or feelings that hold us back from listening to other people, being open to that information and understanding where they're coming from, in a humble and a curious way, to really begin again and have that beginner's mind, which is open. So new moons are times of initiating, times of setting new intentions for what we want to manifest in our lives. They're times of introspection, going inside and really finding what's true for us. So, initiating anything that involves communication. Is it a book? Is it uh, I don't know, what could it be? Is it a podcast? Is it a YouTube channel? Anything that involves you speaking or writing or listening is wonderful for that. And then you can sort of put in those action steps after this new moon is over, or on the new moon. This is a great time to become more social and become more curious to the world around us, to books, to our environment, to people that we're interacting with, to our community, whatever it is. It's about, having gratitude for the information that is available to us, and, being open to learning new information. This also is a new moon to learn about, to really look at your thoughts. What are you thinking, and what are you telling yourself? What are the narratives that you are telling yourself and talking yourself into, and how are they affecting your life? How are they making you feel? How are they affecting your outlook on life and your state of being, and what you want to take action on in your reality? So what are you telling yourself internally? And how is that working out for you? It's a time to rewrite that dialogue in yourself, to be kind and compassionate with yourself, and tell yourself positive things. It's a great time for positive affirmations and a spiritual practice where we can repeatedly repeat those affirmations over and over again to affirm what it is that we want to say to ourselves in a new belief, and something that we want to feel and believe about our lives. Um, and so, how do the stories that you tell yourself affect your day to day life? this is a good time to look at that, and also to rewrite your story if it's negative. It's about, because Gemini is a mutable air sign. So this relates to making changes with flexibility and with grace. So, being very adaptable to your circumstances, being very flexible, changing. Because Gemini comes after Taurus, it's fixed earth. It says no. It wants to dig in its heels. It wants things done its way at this time, this, schedule. So, Taurus is a very stubborn energy, that at best is about valuing your self-worth, knowing what makes you feel good, but at best, at worst, it can be stubborn. So becoming very flexible, intellectually communicating what you want, and changing, what you're doing, and changing your own narrative that you tell yourself. And also breathing, meditation. Those are all wonderful things to do at this Gemini new moon, getting into that grounded space where you're slowing down. You're becoming more grounded. You are really feeling, any kind of breath work would be good to sort of let the chatty, scattered, busy mind that you may have around this time slow down, become more present, become more focused. And, yeah, so, because Gemini is a scattered, unfocused energy that just goes over here and over there. But let's actually take that energy and focus it towards what we want to create, finishing what we start, communicating in a deliberate way where we're meaning what we're saying, and being loving and compassionate and accepting ourselves as we are. So, getting into the more specific parts of this new moon is aspects between the sun and moon forming a square to Neptune. So Neptune at best deals with our fantasies, dreams. It's very creative, it's very ethereal, and it's also very imaginative. And the high road of this is that we can become more creative. We can, use our imagination to create something new, with new visions that we have for our lives. We can get into those states of meditation and those altered states of being and become more imaginative, more artistic. That's always the more positive expression of Neptune. But at worst, the Sun square Neptune has this feeling less strong, weaker, physically and mentally, less motivated, more sort of down in the dumps about our lives. We're feeling, less motivated to do what we want to do what we need to do. More like we want to go inside, take a break, sort of, where we feel like we don't want to be bothered. There's just this sense of just wanting to not be facing our reality and the things that we need to face, and those responsibilities and the things that we need to do, and the people that we need to show up for on a day-to-day basis, and how we really run our lives and put ourselves out there. There may be a difficulty with finding the self-confidence to do that. So on the low level, there is confusion, disillusion, with relationships, of not knowing exactly what we want to start, not knowing exactly what we want to say or communicate to people, or listening to others and then not fully understanding what they're saying. Um, and this also deals with not seeing things clearly for what they are. Neptune energy can really put us in a state of the fog is over us. It's nebulous energy where we're not seeing things clearly, where we have those rose-colored glasses on, and we're having an ideal of what we want to hear and what we want to happen in our lives, that we're not actually facing the reality, what's going on, and making responsible decisions based off of that reality. This could also be deception in relationships, of not people not seeing things clearly. It's also not a good time for negotiations, of where certain details and certain kinks that need to be worked out may be more difficult with the Sun square Neptune, and it may be best for those negotiations to be saved at a later date, because you may be confusing someone, or someone may be confusing you. So, this could also be a time where more people are prone to illness. This could be physical illness, but it could also be depression. This could be lack of faith, lack of hope, lack of a positive and uplifting outlook on your life. Lack of optimism, that strength, that energy inside of yourself that says, let's make something happen in our lives. Let's do something. Let's live the life that we really want to live. And because the Sun deals with your individuality and your expression of that. So there may be just self-doubt or insecurity when it comes to expressing who we are. And we're not feeling entirely confident and secure about ourselves, with a healthy sense of self-worth and valuing ourselves, and really accepting ourselves as we are, knowing that I think the energy of the square is all about accepting that we are truly enough as we are. And so anything that we can do, any spiritual practice where we can tap into that serenity of, that we are enough, and, loving ourselves, accepting ourselves, being present with ourselves, for who we are, with all of our flaws and all. So, not falling into, or not being dragged into that depression, with thoughts that pull us down energetically, spiritually, and emotionally. Because depression could be a thing here where we're feeling more a negative outlook in life, where we don't want to go out and live our lives, and yeah, that's how it can show up. So remaining positive, remaining true to ourselves is important. Who in your life is affecting it, your reality and your state of being? And what do you need to draw a boundary to that is really pulling you down, emotionally and energetically? This could be a relationship. This could be something that you're watching. This could be something that you read that really puts you in a down, sort of depressed state, and feeling drained, feeling just down, and lack of faith, and lack of joy, and lack of just contentment and gratitude, and being really grounded in the here and now. So what's affecting that reality that you live in, and how you view your life? Especially, one of the ways that this can show up is social media. You go on and see people's wonderful lives and that they're living, and it's really where we're not seeing it clearly, where they're not showing what is truly going on in their lives. They're showing the positive aspects, sort of through a filter or a screen that is not them showing 100% of their truth, sort of, the keeping it in secret of their more private issues going on. So getting caught in, feeling down about ourselves, comparing ourselves to others in a negative ways, and really things that make us feel less worthy or less good um, about ourselves and grateful for what we have in our lives. So, getting off of, detaching from social media, taking a break from getting into meditation, getting into nature, and really going more introspective, and reflecting on ourselves and, any spiritual practice, um, and um, sitting with ourselves with our feelings, um, and what's presently going on is important here. Um, and yeah, we can get caught in that escapism and not seeing things for what they are. So, the card that I pulled for this new moon is about gratitude. Having gratitude for what's here and now, for who we are, for the people in our world, for the things that we have, can really do a lot of good for us at the time of this new moon. So, that is your video on the new moon. I hope that you enjoyed. Bye, everyone.